This video will be an example of a trader talk that I have with one of my course members. This video will be great for listening, so for you podcast people, you're going to love this one. Be sure to comment below your thoughts on what you think of this episode, and be sure to enjoy. We can talk about like your trading goals. You can tell me about your trading journey, like where you started, how far you came, and where you are now. We can talk about whatever you want.
Oh, yeah, all right. Well, we can start with that stuff. It's been pretty rough for me the last 2 years.
Okay. In
The
terms of
last
what,
two
trading
years,
or
about
in
2 years
terms
ago,
of
I
life?
started trading. Like, I got into trading Forex originally.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just didn't do very well there. I guess I didn't
You
want
said you bought some
to.
courses, right, with the Forex?
Yep, sure
Yeah,
did.
and what'd you think of those courses? You don't have to name the actual course if you don't want to, but like, what were some of the good
Yeah,
things or some of the
I
bad
won't
things
call
about it?
anybody out, but I won't call anybody out. But basically, if you're trying to follow and copy trade anybody online, and this goes for like anything, like it's just not going to work. You can't. The latency with the internet and everything, just people being different psychologically, it's just
Exactly.
impossible to
You can't
people.
copy. Like, nobody could copy me the exact way that I trade. I couldn't copy anybody else the way they trade. It's psychology, very well said. Psychology, different styles,
So,
whatever it may be.
so I went from that to like Robinhood had just came out that year well, maybe it was 3 years ago. But yeah, Robinhood had
Yeah, like
came out.
2017,
Um,
2018. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, well, it had came out probably 2 years or a year before I actually got into it, but it was relatively new.
Yeah.
And I got a Robinhood account, and Bitcoin was like at like 8,000 at that time. And I started trading Bitcoin, and I made quite a bit of money
Oh, nice.
trading Bitcoin right away.
Were you just like
So I
swing
had like
trading it?
3 or 4. I started with like $300, and I turned it into like $4,000. So I was
Oh,
pretty
that's
happy with that.
awesome. Nice.
And so I went from that to just trading penny stock. I did the Tim Sykes penny trader thing, and I did the millionaire student challenge thing or whatever. And then I did my interview with them, and they wanted $8,000 to get mentored by somebody who was mentored by Tim Sykes. So
Oh
that's
my
what that's all about.
goodness. That's quite a bit of money. It's a big
Yeah,
commitment, especially for
yeah.
anybody.
Well, yeah. And then what are you supposed to have to trade with? I mean, you're gonna have to have like they expect you to have your base $25,000 so
Oh,
you can day trade. Plus, you're supposed to give them $8,000. So you
it's
got to have quite a
it's
bit
like,
of money to
yeah,
start
you have
that.
to you have to really be serious about it, or you need to be a very wealthy individual. And I mean,
Yeah.
it changes over time, but yeah, that sounds scary. So you did not go through with that though, right? Because it
No,
only
I
cost
did
8 grand.
not. No,
Yeah,
I
that's
did
a
not
tricky
go through
one.
with that. So then I found you on YouTube,
Oh,
actually, like right
nice.
after that.
What
And
did
I've
you end
been
up
a member of
searching?
Nzinga and
Or
Speaking
what?
Alpha, and went through videos of like how to screen using FinViz and stuff like that, and did a lot of practicing screening for like doing fundamental, like ground up analysis of companies. So I started getting into that and reading about how to do that, and went into FitBiz, and I would go and set up all of my different criteria for making lists, and I would just watch them. Kind of like you can build a list in FinViz. It's kind of nice. You can build a portfolio, and you can do like it's kind of like paper trading, and it just tracks where you're at, so you can get better at screening stocks.
That's pretty
Um,
cool.
so I did that, and then I found you on YouTube.
Yeah, real quick, what
Uh,
did you search? Did you search anything, or did YouTube
no, you came
recommend
up.
me?
You came up in my suggested videos
Okay,
because I was
YouTube
searching all that
suggested.
kind of stuff.
What
It was
time period
actually
was that?
you were coupled with what in the money
Oh,
is the
he's good.
guy's name on YouTube,
Yep.
because I was watching his videos, and then it showed like you were a suggestion underneath that, so I just clicked it and I started watching, and I was like, wow, this is the only guy I've ever seen that's just taking live trades all day
I
on
know.
Steam. I was just like,
I
oh, that's
know.
cool. I don't have to pay anything. And he's teaching fundamental analysis. And then you came out with the course, and you said whatever it was at that time, get grandfathered in. I forgot what the price was, 200 or 300 or something.
Yeah, I said the price would be going up. Yeah, it was like about 250 to start, and then you get everything up until that point. So the
Yep.
course is probably
So
twice or three times as big now since you first got
and
in.
I jumped on it right away, and I did those
Nice.
tests right away. And then I just started playing. I didn't have a lot of money to play with, and I still don't. But I lost last year. Was my first year like being serious about trading. I lost $5,000, about $6,000 last year
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear
trading,
that.
and no, like it was. I was very discouraged. Actually, I quit trading in August of last year. I didn't pick it up again until just now. And I'm being very, very conservative. I'm like, I'm not putting anything into my account that I'm not willing to lose. So I'm trading each day. I'm starting with like $150, $100. Like,
Oh,
and I'm just keeping it. Yeah, it's kind of, so that's kind of one of the things that makes it tough. But what I've realized starting with a small account like that is it's kind of like sitting at the bus stop waiting for a bus. You have to know your setups and you have to just sit and wait for
yep.
those setups to come.
You got to
Like
snipe.
today, I did pretty well. Watching your analysis of the SPY.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
You
spies
showed
good.
the push up into the supply zone, 446 to 448.
Yep.
Predicted a drop after that. So I got in yesterday on a I want to call it a bear credit spread.
Oh yeah, bear call credit spread.
Or no, it was a put spread.
Oh,
A
so you
bearish
bought a
put
put and
spread.
sold further out of the money put.
Yeah. So I pulled that trade yesterday and I let it ride for a little bit. And I
Nice.
ended up breaking up the legs of that trade. I ended up getting rid of the calls while they were up yesterday.
Oh,
And I held the
interesting.
put.
So you legged out.
And that's what gave me that big trade today. I held the puts and then it gapped down this morning. I woke up to $1,300 in my paper trading.
Hey,
So that was
nice.
like kind of nice that I executed that based off of what you taught me.
Yeah, keep the risk in the spread. You want to catch it while the premiums are nice and cheap, and the risk is in the spread, and then you just hold it. That's all. That's the last part. Hold it, and then take
Yeah, I
profits when
guess, yeah.
everybody's super bearish.
Yeah, the one thing I guess I did differently there is I was able to split my legs, because I
Hmm.
didn't buy it as a spread. So I'm doing like the poor man's version of these spreads. I'm buying them separately
Yeah, the ghetto spread.
so that I can sell them. If I want to end up getting out of one of the legs, I can close that leg.
Yeah,
Otherwise, they're
it
very
makes it so that you can day trade the very next day.
yep.
Yeah, and that's certainly
So and I
nice.
don't. Yeah, I've learned a lot about all that stuff going through all these different brokerages and stuff, and the good faith violations and margin accounts and cash accounts and all that. And I
Oh
just gotta
yeah.
say, like, I've learned a lot by watching your stuff and doing your tests, man.
Well, that's
Because that
awesome.
helped
I'm
me make
glad.
these trades. So that's good. Building confidence slowly.
Definitely. It's a work in
Currently,
progress, especially even for me. You know, every day I'm trying to increase my confidence, build it, but we got to be careful in this market. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah, it's scary. Um, but yeah, I've been a bullish trader for all of last year, and I lost about $6,000. And I decided this year I'm going to try to take some more short positions, and I
Mm.
lucked out with the market crashing like it is. Kind of worked
Yeah,
in my favor,
yeah, it's definitely
and
helping. It's definitely a short seller's market. Shorting the
I'm
pumps.
starting to see that I like these put spreads. I feel like with the options trading, it's a little more likely that both sides are winning, or it's a win-win-win in some situations. I don't like the idea of taking money from people, like
Oh
momentum
yeah,
trading and stuff. And
I used to think like that too, but what I realize is that there's market makers, there's big hedge funds. It's not so much that you're taking money from people, you're trading the exact same chart that they are. You have the exact same information, if not less, than some of the bigger players. So I wouldn't think of it as taking money from somebody else. There's a loser in every transaction, but it could be just a little bit of liquidity from like an institution or something. It doesn't really, it's just the market, and the market is. I wouldn't worry
my
about that. I
yesterday
used to
was
think like
low.
that though.
My girlfriend yesterday told me they don't care if you lose money. How many times have you lost? I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I guess you're right.
They will not, yeah, you don't get your account refunded if you lose money.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all a game that if you choose to play, everybody knows the risks in it. So everybody's accepting what is to what can
So
happen in the market.
So here's, I guess, where I'm at with curiosities and questions and things going forward.
Oh yeah.
Uh, a better way to screen for or figure, like, I gotta get practice with when I see these setups, like whether or not, like you noticed a little bit ago, I had trouble telling you what kind of spread I bought. Like, I know what I'm doing when I'm looking at the numbers, but like I'm not fast enough to recognize, like, okay, this is bearish. I need to do a bear call credit spread. Like I don't, and then like go in and just set that up. Like I'm not sure which one that is. I know what I need to do fundamentally or mathematically when I.
Okay. First of all, there I would double check all of the videos in the bear call credit spread, the put debit spread section, all those different areas in the options course, because I go over when to do each of these and how to set them up.
Yeah.
But as a general
Well,
rule of thumb, just think bear call credit spreads. You want the stock or ETF to go sideways to slightly lower, or it can even crash. You just want it, think of it as selling calls. You don't want it to go up a lot. Think if I'm buying calls, I want it to go up a lot. I think that's just some of the easiest ways to think of it. Just as like a bull put credit spread, it's like saying you want the stock to go sideways or higher. You want it to be away from those puts if you're selling puts. If you're selling calls, you just want the stock price to fall away from those calls that you're selling. So that's an easy way to think of it, and you gotta. It's important to understand when to do a bear call credit spread versus a put debit spread. Do you know the answer to that?
see, I know you go over that in one of your tests, and that's why I think I need to take a refresher because it's been almost a year since I answered that question or looked at that and
Do you
realizing
know
like
how to look at the expected move?
I just got cleared for option spreads
Okay.
like a week ago.
Oh,
So I
nice.
haven't been able to actually trade any spreads until a week ago. So I really should go over that again and then get another week of trading on paper on spreads. Thinkorswim is beautiful that it lets you trade spreads in paper trading.
Oh yeah, it's not exactly like perfect in terms of real time, but you can switch away the dates as needed. Yeah, and that's that on demand feature. But just a quick note, a quick little tip. If the expected move from the trade tab, there you go. Are you back?
Yeah.
There you are.
I switched off of my Wi-Fi. I'm having some Wi-Fi issues. It looks like.
It's no worries. Basically, I was just going on a rant on you want to be selling calls or selling options when the expected move is really high. If the expected move is low, but you think it can go more than what's expected in the market, that's when we want to be doing those put debit spreads or any kind of debit spread.
Okay, I'll go through that again in your course too.
Yeah, double check those. It's super cool because you make a little bit extra money if you do the right option strategy, and you can be a little bit more wrong.
And I wanted to ask. I watch you trade quite a bit, and there's one thing that remains elusive to me. Are you entering your trades with stops?
Sometimes I enter a trade with stops. I try to most of the time enter with a limit order, but if there's like a clear level, like for example on Tesla today, there's a short setup at 905. I put a stop limit in there. I really should have just entered with a limit order or a stop order to make sure I get in. But what that does is it lets the market trigger me in rather than me anticipate. I like using
Right,
stops sometimes in a choppy market because if it's choppy and I anticipate a breakout or a breakdown, I might just get chopped back and then it'll just hit the stop when I could have just waited for
right.
confirmation with the
Yeah,
stop order.
that's been a lot of my problem. That has been a lot of my problem.
Really, getting in and then getting chopped out or wicked out.
Yeah, that's what I get whipped out a lot.
Yeah, it's a really whippy type of market, and that's why I've just been trying to lean in towards those debit and credit spreads because how often do you get wicked? You won't get wicked on debit and credit spreads very often because the risk is in the premium. You don't actually need that hard stop. You just choose how much capital you're willing to risk, and then you let it through. And you can always close it out manually if you choose to. So that might help
Right,
doing more debit and credit spreads. It's those naked
right,
options that get wicked and battered if you're wrong in any way, shape, or form.
right.
But yeah, so that's kind of one question. Do I use stop orders? Yes. When to do bear call credit spreads? When to do put debit spreads? Do you have any kind of like other questions? Like, what are your goals in trading? I know you said that you're using $100 to $150. I will say I don't want to be a dream crusher, but that is very difficult
I
to make any
I
significant
know.
amount of money, and you'll probably just make yourself disappointed if you keep trying to. There's very
Well,
few
yeah,
people that can flip like $100 even to into 1,000 in like a year.
yeah, it's really tough. I hear you there, and I think that that's the next step in this, I guess, is to get some more money.
And
Like I need to get like back to a position where I can make some money, which means a little bit less trading, probably.
what I
I
would
do a lot of
what
freelance work and I work for myself
oh
and
nice.
I do lots of different things, but I just have been focusing on trading again for a little while because I had a job for a little bit and that job came to an end and I can't start again for like another month or two, so I'm just kind of hanging out, you know.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't, I don't
I
have enough
fully
money. You know, like I
understand
have enough
that.
money to survive. I have enough money to survive until I get back to work, and I can't really take a bunch from that and put it into trading
Yeah,
and
you
lose it
wouldn't
like
want to
for
either.
but
No, you don't want to ever dip into your savings. Your savings are for you. That's kind of last resort. And even that last resort, you wouldn't want to be trading with it. What I would suggest, and this take this with a grain of salt. This is what I kind of did was when my account was like $1,000, like it was like my second year of trading, and I had like blown an account or two. My first year of trading, what I did was I just kept paper trading, kept trading small, so kept trading small in live, keep paper trading, and then at your next job, if you do it, I would start searching for jobs and paper trade while you're doing that, and then you can get good at trading. You can have the job, and then what I did was I just kind of deposited $50 a week in my trading account. That way it grew slowly over time. What that did was okay. Now I have like a $3,000 account. I can use what I've learned so far to carefully risk small amounts of money and consistently compound it. And that's with the debit and credit spreads. So that's why I'd suggest maybe just maybe start a new account or what kind of broker are you
yeah,
using?
my girlfriend's going to be starting an account, but I do all sorts of work. Everything from I have a degree in Geographic Information Systems,
Oh, that's right. I love
and
that.
I do everything from that to construction because I did a lot of construction growing up and
Oh, wow.
used to run a contracting company.
Construction worker day trader. I love it.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get away from construction and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm almost, I'll be 37 this year, so
Oh, nice.
kind of,
Congratulations. So you're still nice and young.
yeah,
Got a long time to get good at trading. Well, yeah. What I would say is keep trading with paper trading. Take the live trades with small trades with that small account, but also maybe start a new account and just deposit like $50 a week, $100 a week, whatever you can. Once you find that new job of yours, because I'm going to tell you, you would be like an amazing trader if you could make even just a little bit off of that 150. So
gosh. Really, well, I feel good that you're saying that because like last in September of last year, I turned 50 into 450 on Ford call options.
oh, no way. That's such an awesome trade.
Yeah,
No
I was just
way.
waiting, like I
Nice.
said before, like waiting at the bus stop. Like I'm really good at analyzing the Ford chart for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Um, in my paper trades, I'm great at shorting Tesla too. I'm good at calling Tesla. It likes to make
Nice.
moves at $50 moves, but so it makes it
Tesla and
easy. But
Ford are like the exact opposites. Ford's like a great stock, I
right,
say, for beginners and just consistently building because the option chain is nice and small. It's really tight on Ford, and you can
yeah,
do calls and puts. I've never really heard of anybody blowing their account on Ford, but
yeah.
Tesla's like for veterans. I have heard of people blowing their accounts on Tesla.
I have messed up pretty good in paper on Tesla before.
Have you?
Like Oh yeah, definitely something where with really bad risk to reward too.
Well,
Like
glad it was
maybe
paper,
could
right?
have made like $3,000 or whatever. Might have made $3,000, but instead I lost 20.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hey,
And
I'm
I've
glad it was
blown,
paper
I've blown
trade.
up a live account.
What did you learn from that? That risk to reward is important. You may think like
Yeah, risk to
even though a
yeah,
stock can go in the direction you might think, it doesn't mean that you should take the trade. You know?
right. Absolutely right. Because of risk to reward, the potential for loss there and that risk, you got to look at that. I mean, everybody's
Hmm.
tolerance is different too, but
Yeah.
mine's really low right now. Like I have a very low risk tolerance, but I have very low amount of capital, so I have to conserve that capital. Because if I lose my principal balance and if I lose my starting capital, I'm screwed.
Oh yeah, exactly. And
Like I
you
can't,
never
you
want to
can't
get
make
to
any
that
mistakes,
position.
and you have to make small mistakes, and that's one of my other big problems. Is I take big swings. If you take big swings, you get big hits. When it hits, like that's how you turn a 50 into 450, but that's also
Yeah.
how you lose 50 if you
Exactly.
mess
And
it
then
up.
your account's gone if you screwed up. Exactly.
Yeah.
And did you ever get a good did you ever ride the GME and AMC waves, or did you kind of stay away
Um,
from that?
no, I watch GME for in my paper account. I watch it for capitulation and I short it.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's
Like
awesome.
that, yeah, and it works. I mean, I made 40 grand in my paper account last year doing that.
Oh, nice. That's amazing.
Off
Yeah,
of
that'll do
30,
it.
yeah, 40 grand off of 30 grand on one trade.
So you're building up strategies, and I know we talked a little bit about this, but I can't stress it enough. It sounds lame. I went through a period where I wish I would have tracked a little bit more, but tracking your trades, gosh, it's kind of just like whenever when you're if a person's trying to lose weight, as soon as they start like tracking their calories and tracking their weight, they start losing weight without changing anything at all. It's the same thing in trading. If you have a trade log, if you can show me like a really good detailed trade log, you're just going to get better at trading because you're going to have to input and consciously think and reflect upon each and every trade. And that's how we become better at this game of trading. And soon you'll just be able to crank out money left and right because you've just gotten so good at what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And you just stick to
I'm
it.
glad you brought that up. I have a question there, I guess.
Yeah.
That's something I could probably use some help with because I've never actually like plugged plugged the trade numbers into a trade log and like analyzed it and like
Yeah.
or know what to look for even.
Of course. Here, do you want me to share my
So we can
screen
go
and
through
show
some of
you?
my
Or send
we
you
can go
the
through some of my paper trades. I could send you some screenshots or something maybe and we could get that worked out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, entering in the trade log, I used to just not want to do it. I didn't see the point, or I wasn't reminded of the usefulness of it. But when you start making good money, you're kind of like, okay, I'm willing to do this, even though it's a hassle. Like it takes me like 30 minutes a day to log all my trades for the day. And usually I'm grouping all the ticker together on the entire day. And but it's worth it. That extra 30 minutes, it's worth it to find out what works and what doesn't work. So do you want me to set? I have the Excel spreadsheet in the course. If you see that section in the course, the how I log my
Yeah,
trades, you can download
I
the Excel
remember. Yeah.
spreadsheet and then you can fill it out yourself.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll if I have any questions, I'll let you know, but I will do that.
Yeah, and if you want, do you want me to run through on my screen? Do you want me to share my screen and show you just real quick how I do it, or
Yeah,
do you have? Okay, here, let me do
yeah, if
that.
that's
So
possible.
yeah,
If
here, I'm
that's
gonna share my
possible.
screen. I'm on my laptop
Yeah.
right now. Screens. Here you go, screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. It's here, watch stream. Right.
Do you
It's
see
coming
it?
out. Oh, there you go.
There it is. Okay. Let's see. So right here I have the date. That says February 1st, ticker. Tesla type. I did a put ghetto spread, so I'm kind of legging into puts. And risk. This is just how much am I willing to risk dollar wise. Sometimes some people say you should do percent of risk. I'm just testing this. I like to add new columns each and every every month. But basically what this is like the most amount I'm willing to lose so that I can measure it as a form of R, my risk unit. And I can see how much did it cost me. what did I exit at, and then that's my total profit. And so all these formulas should be in right here, but like if you just double click right here, it shows like, okay, here's the exit minus the cost. That shows the profit. Then with this
Okay.
R right over here, it's the P&L divided by the risk, and that's my R multiple. So on that Tesla put ghetto spread, I was willing to risk 300, but I came out with a profit of 150. My R was only 0.5. So I actually made less than I was risking. But I also like to say R is for me, it's my maximum risk. It's not my anticipated risk. So even though my maximum risk, I'm willing to lose 300 bucks, it doesn't mean that I would like to lose 300 bucks. I might cut it sooner. I might cut it for like minus 50 bucks or minus 100 bucks or take break even. I'm just measuring that gain loss. You just it's G2 divided by E2, the P&L divided by the cost. What type of setup was it? Was it scalping? And I grade myself. How did I think I did based off my plan and how I executed it and what I thought? And then just notes. The notes is the most important section. Just, hey, what was your thoughts on that trade? What could you have done better? What could you have done worse? I was anticipating a trend change, but I had a great risk reward, but I was against the trend. So that's just kind of like one example. I can like take some of my trades from today. I can say, hey, like, okay, let's log these Tesla put ghettos right over here. I'm gonna do Tesla. Let's just say it's the 2/17. I'm gonna type in ticker TSLA. I'm gonna do a put ghetto. And how much was I willing to risk on those put ghettos? Well, I said I was willing to risk about $900. $900 today.
Yeah.
And this is where
that trade.
Yeah, it was a tricky one, that's for sure. And the cost was quite a bit. I'm buying the contracts for 47, 47.10, I believe it was. But either way, that's about what it is. And then I can do this equals this, and I can see, okay, what was my P&L on the day on the put ghettos? Okay, 767. So this plus 767. Let's see. You have 767. And then look, see, like, it looks like a good trade. It's a lot of money, but relative to what I was risking, I still would say it's not a good trade. My R multiple is only 0.85. I usually try to shoot for 1.5. And, as you can see, it's sometimes tough to get. It's sometimes tough to get above that 1.5. But that's what makes you profitable. You have to track these stats and be like, okay, what's your batting average? What's your accuracy? Okay, now how much do you make with that accuracy? And just constantly refining that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's like a lot of good information right there. I'm gonna need to start doing that.
It's really helpful. Like, money just comes in when you start tracking it a lot more diligently. There's a period of time in 2021, there was like 2 months that I didn't log as well as I should have, and guess what? Those are my worst months when I look back at the broker statements. So it's just one of those things where we may think our memory is good, but our memory might not be as good as we think once we actually look at the results.
Yeah, when you're doing a ton of trades, especially.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I wait till the end of the day to just see what it's at.
Great, right on. Oh,
but yeah, how are you feeling? What are you excited for? It was a what?
What's that? In my live account, I had a pretty decent day.
You did?
Well.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm up 4.5%.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
So, yeah, if you can, 4.5% day over day is a lot of money. I mean, if you can do that every day, day in, day out, trading, that's awesome.
There'd be people that would kill for that percentage each day. That is amazing. So keep with the consistency on that. Now, and in your trading log, say, hey, what did I do well? What resulted in this good P&L? A lot of it will be the market conditions, but also you'll find that there's some nuances and some things that you did well today. Maybe it was a routine. Yeah. Maybe your mind was sharp.
Bottom line was figuring out my psychology, and I'm more prone to picking setups for downside moves.
Nice.
Like it's just weird that I do that. My brain just it's definitely psychology. And then the other thing is it's a lot less stressful for me. Like I stress out like you were stressing out today on that Tesla put
Yeah.
spread. Like I stress out like that when I'm in long positions, like because it just always seems to crash on me, like no matter what. So it's just like, well,
Yeah.
let's just flip the script. I'll do the same analysis I've been doing. I'll just buy put options, and I
Yep.
started doing that this year, and I started making money.
Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, that the market, you're not fighting the trend anymore if you're going short,
Right.
at least in this current market. But there still will be
Well, it
good
was a bull
bounces along the
market.
way.
It was an epic bull market, and I was making bullish trades, and I was losing. So I mean, there has to be something there with the psychology. It was like
Mm.
every time my trade would end up down a bit, and I'd be looking at the chart, I would get scared that it was going to crash, so I would hop out of my trade, and I just didn't have enough nerve, you know. That
Yeah,
was the
and that
first problem,
conviction.
and then the second problem was I would flip that, and I'd be like, all right, I'm just going to hold, and then theta would just eat away my option, and I'd get to the end
Yeah.
and be worthless, and I'd just be like, God dang it, and I'd lose even more money. I was like, well, what? I can't win here. I don't know why I'm chasing it like
I
this, but I am.
I went through that exact same thing, and it all comes back to that's why I do more spreads because the theta just eats it away. There's a very rare times that naked just a straight up call or a straight up put is the most necessary. Even today, the market was down quite a bit, but I would still say put debit spreads were still better because then you can hold through all that chop. You can have more conviction because it helps you know, like, hey, I'm selling another option to help me out with that theta.
Right. That's what I did with Riot today. I did a put debit spread on Riot, and
Oh,
that's what got me
nice.
my 4%.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Riot. Oh, man, nice. Riot's down 9% today.
Yeah, I opened that one right after that first drop. You can see right after you open there. Like as soon as it broke that bottom level that it established right away,
Oh, yeah. So
I hopped in.
opening range breakdown trade.
Yep.
Love it. Nice. That's a good setup. And then your stop loss was either just the premium or above the high of the day.
Yep. Just
Nice.
like you taught me.
Yep, exactly. Nice and easy. Dang, that's awesome. Keep up trades like that. Take a screenshot, clip it, put it in your notes. That's another thing you can do as you're tracking trades. I think it would be really cool.
All right. I'm gonna work on that tonight.
Definitely.
That'll be what I do when we get off the phone. I'm gonna go and open up the laptop and get into Teachable and
Yeah, I would say make it fun, make it like a game. Yeah, and as always, let me know if there's any questions you have in the course. If I wasn't clear on anything, I'm always looking to improve it. And if you want a certain video made just for you, I literally take every single request and make a video for you. Because you invested in the course, I want to give back to you as much as I possibly can.
oh, that sounds good.
Excellent.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. I'm rattling through my brain quick just to see if there's anything I can think of to ask, I guess, or whatever. Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
a couple
We
days
can
ago,
always
I
stay in
saw you
touch.
finding trades. You were finding trades you're getting in, spread trades you're getting in on for like $20 and you made like 80 off of $20.
Oh
Those are the
yeah.
kinds of trades I'm looking for.
Oh,
And like,
say no
how
more.
to screen for how how to screen for those particular types of trades would be nice, like using the
Oh
option
yeah,
hacker.
definitely. I honestly I do so much better when I only risk the 20 because I'm always like, man, I just turned 20 into 80. Tesla did $50 into 130. I always do those types of trades, but I never get them with big size. But there's a reason. Those trades are not high probability in nature. But still, yeah, there's a lot of those cool ones, and you got to really nail those entries if you're gonna do a 20 into 100 or whatever it may be. That I actually haven't even seen DraftKings. I wonder how DraftKings did on their earnings. Okay, nothing really. Did they report? No, they report tomorrow morning. But either way, there's lots of cool trades that I can do with those, and I'll be sure to
All
try
right.
and call those out when I do those lower budget type of ones.
Yeah, those are nice because I can
Yeah,
follow those. Or at least, get something similar, look for something similar. And then that's, I don't know, the biggest thing I found with having a small account, if anybody's going to listen to this or whatever,
Yeah, we can put
the
it. We
biggest
should post
thing
this
is
on
you got to
YouTube.
really think about it like you're just waiting for that setup or waiting for, like I say, waiting for a bus, basically. You're just sitting there waiting until your setup comes. You cannot force it because that's how you're going to lose money.
Yeah.
Like forcing trades, over trading, like telling yourself you need to make money today, even though the market's not in a pattern where you can make money today. That's going to lose you all your money quick.
Very well said. I couldn't agree more. You know, it's a constant process that we need to just practice. We need to practice sniping. We need to practice sitting on our hands. You got to find your best setups, and then you can take the trade. But if you search for a trade, well, you'll find trades. Is it a good one? Probably not, though. If you're searching for it.
Yep. If you're hunting them out, get used to reading a few charts. I recommend the SPY.
Yeah, definitely. You
Start
got to
with
get
like
good. If you get the SPY
Ford.
right, you get everything right.
Yeah, get the SPY right, get Ford, something like that if you're starting out, and then just get really used to reading those charts and maybe some of the underlying on the SPY, like some of the, like whatever Facebook and Amazon,
Yeah, definitely.
Tesla, everything that makes up the SPY. You got to kind of pay attention to all that stuff too, because that's what drags the SPY lower or higher.
No, for sure, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Well, Nathan, thank you so much for doing this call.
I have enough homework from you. I'm gonna do the trading log. So
it's exciting once you get really serious about trading, because when you get really serious and really put in that work, it's difficult for results not to come. Of course, it's the market, and there's no such thing as guaranteed results. I've never guaranteed results ever, but I can guarantee that you will get better at finding like what you're good at, what you're bad at. It's exciting once things start clicking more and more and more.
yeah, definitely. I really appreciate your help and everything you've taught me so far.
Oh, yeah, no problem. More to come.
I wouldn't be able to keep going if I didn't learn it somewhere. I appreciate the mentorship or chance at that. I don't know
Definitely.
what your plans for the future are with that, I guess. But
yeah, I'm looking to be setting up a coaching section in Teachable. So setting a separate coaching section in Teachable, because there's a lot of people that are asking me, hey, can I like do some one-on-one calls? I would love that. And I'm like, oh, let me figure out like a formal way to kind of set that up. Because
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, because I think it's helpful. I wish I would have done a lot of mentoring sooner. Like I've got my guys that I look up to. You can see everybody I'm subscribed to on YouTube. There's of course Romulus from Grok Trade. He's cool. So it's always important to have just somebody you can look up to. And I hope that, and that's why I'm always trying to get better too, because there's a lot of people that look up to me, and I still need to develop as a trader too. It's a constant process.
I'm glad we can help each other with that.
Definitely. So, should we post this to YouTube?
You sure can.
Sure can. All right, it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, that doesn't bother me at all.
What do you want? What do you want the title to be? Do you have a preference on a title?
Oh no, I don't care.
Okay,
No,
I'll shoot you ideas and I'll let you know before it's up.
All right, sounds good.
Sweet. Well, Nathan, thank you so much for hanging out today. I had a blast.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'll talk to you again soon.
Let's get that trading dialed in, and let's kill it in 2022.
Looking forward to it.
Excellent. All right, take care.